Welcome to another installment of 5-Minute Licks. On today's video, we're going to do an 80s rock rhythm guitar primer inspired by players like Steve Stevens, Randy Rhoads, and Paul Gilbert. It also draws on some other influences like Ritchie Blackmore and Jimi Hendrix. In my opinion, practicing rhythm guitar is so overlooked in the discussion of just getting better not only at the guitar but as a musician. A lot of the time, if you're out playing a show, 95% of the time you're playing rhythm guitar, but I bet you probably spend 95% of your practice time practicing lead guitar. So it can be great to hone in on these aspects. Furthermore, this provides a really fun creative framework for you to develop your own style within a style. Let's dive straight into it. To get started, we're going to explore a very straightforward example of this style where we're alternating between a low string that's just being chugged. In this case, we're going to use the open A string and then some dyads played on the D and the G string. We're going to start with fret 5 on the D and the G. I'm using these two middle fingers for a reason that we will see in just a minute. That's an inverted C power chord. You could move this up to fret 7 so you get an inverted D power chord and simply play each chord on the downbeat, then play 3 downstrokes on the A string. So we're going to be filling up an entire bar like this. At whatever tempo is comfortable. I'd recommend playing it along with a drum track or a click track so that you can stay in time. And just think of it like a drum rudiment. This is always going to be landing on a downbeat. You can then start changing up the rhythm in there with different groupings, doing something like 3 plus 3 plus 2. So you'd be playing this dyad once, then there'd be 2 open strings. You do that pattern twice, then we play the dyad once and the open string once. So we get this. We're just really working on keeping that consistent timing-wise and intensity-wise with our right hand. You also notice that when I'm not playing the chords, I'm still staying in touch with the strings, but I'm not pressing in. That is going to mute them on there. The first variation we're going to build on that is we're going to take that inverted C power chord and we're going to drop the C note down to a B. So we're going to have the notes G and B together. This is implying a G major chord. We've got the root note and the major third of a G major chord in there, and we can swap between those two. A great example of putting this to use and playing it with more of a shuffle feel would be the verses in the Whitesnake song, Give Me All Your Love. So that little variation where we're playing, in this case, the inverted C power chord and then the G and the B note, the little third dyad on there, is such a classic combination. You can get so much mileage out of that. You can, of course, play regular power chords on the D and the G string. Think of Bark at the Moon as an example. Okay, once you've got that happening, what we're going to do is we're going to change the key and we're going to take it down into the key of G. And you're probably going, Leon, do I have to retune my guitar? I don't have a low open G string on here. You don't, but you do need to use your thumb. So this is where the Ritchie Blackmore influence comes into this. So we're going to plant our thumb on fret 3 of that low string. Now, a piece of advice, don't think of it like using the entire pad and really trying to press hard. You just want to get the minimum amount of thumb over the top there to just make some contact. So I actually kind of find that little zone here where your thumb starts to bend is a really good one to dig into the string. Then we can essentially take the same exercise on there. So we're going to be playing an inverted B flat chord here, but because we've moved everything down, it's got the same relationship to the root note on there. So we've got this. start padding it out with other dyads in there. The whole point, though, is that we're able to maintain the root note of the song with this low string on here. My personal favorite example of this is in the key of F sharp. It's the John Norum track from the album Face the Truth, called Face the Truth. It has Glenn Hughes on vocals. It's a pretty amazing album and track. The intro rhythm is something like this. What I love about this is you can transpose this into any key. So I'd suggest taking the very first exercise we did with the open A string, playing it, and then swapping out the open A for a low A, fret 5 on the E string, then moving that down to G, or taking it up to B, this kind of thing. I'm going to pull up stumps there. If you like these examples, let me know in the comments section below, and let me know what you would like me to cover on future episodes of 5-Minute Licks. If you dig this, you can support me on my Patreon, which is linked in the video description, or you can check out some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll. I'm going to play you all out with an example from my band Ragdoll. This is the first song I ever wrote, and it makes a lot of use of all the things we've looked at in today's video. It is a Ragdoll song called Foot to the Floor. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you next time.
To the floor.